Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Soundcheck. Today we have someone really special. Please welcome Mr. Clement D'Souza.
Actually, I've been tracking you for a little while. I've been watching your podcast and things that you do. What are we talking about? But thankfully, next to us there's a hospital.
Like I said, he's actually one of the funniest people and the biggest bakchods is what I feel in the industry, if I may say so.
मतलब मैं compliment दे कि मेरी भाई मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. One Shetty coming and doing some firing, you know.
You even played at several Vijaymallya parties. I'm sure they must have been extravagant.
I didn't play at several Vijaymalla's parties. I was his boy.
Soundcheck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Soundcheck. Today we have someone really special. He is not only one of the pioneers of the Indian music scene, but he's also one of the driving forces for its future. Luckily, he's also a good friend and a mentor and one of the funniest people I know in the industry. Please welcome Mr. Clement D'Souza. Welcome to the show, sir.
Welcome to my school.
Thank you, sir. I'm quite familiar with this place.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Absolute pleasure, sir. We've obviously been talking about this for a little while and we're so happy that you were able to make time.
Actually, I've been tracking you for a little while. I've been watching your podcast and the things that you do, and I'm glad that we could do this in the initial stages itself, you know, like.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And obviously, you've been such a big support system. And like I said, you know, not just a mentor, but also a friend. So thank you for always being there and supporting us, sir.
I'm always going to be there because, you know, मेरे को आदत है कि घुस के, you know, लगे रहो types. So I feel like I've got a lot from this industry, this life that is around me for the last 25-30 years. So, you know, I like being there. So, आप चाहो या ना चाहो, unless you tell me, मैं हूँ.
Great, awesome. So, Clement, you wear many hats, right? You're the official DJ of Mumbai Indians, the IFA Awards, you're the founder of Themusic'Scool, you're a businessman, you're a DJ, etc. You're seen as this massive figure in the nightlife space. But I want to ask you, Clement, how does it feel to be Mr. Clement D'Souza?
Well, you know, I actually possibly need to change my game a little bit compared to the way I used to be. And to be honest, I didn't realize the weight of Clement D'Souza until very recent past, maybe, you know, is when you hit a certain age, you know, a lot of realizations happen. But I think that there would have been something nice that I would have possibly done in amongst all my evilness in my teens, in my 20s and in my early 30s as well, that it's fallen back on me and there's a lot of goodwill towards me. So I feel good to be one of the names that is known amongst a certain, a segment of our business.
Right.
So I also can possibly say that I am one of the one of the, I wouldn't say the most, but I'm one of the most networked DJs amongst my fraternity.
Right.
तो बच्चों से लेके थोड़े बूढ़ों तक भी मेरी दोस्ती है. You know, so so I think I feel good in those ways, like that I have been that friendly person at one time, and it has helped build network.
Right. And the music school, of course, has played such a big role in that, right? And I'm sure a lot of people want to know the story behind the music school, right? How did it happen? Why did you start it? So yeah, just tell us a little bit about that.
पैसा.
ये कट तो नहीं कर रहा ना?
No, but let me tell you one thing, that it actually started way long back in early 2000s. Nightlife at that time, I'm originally not from Bangalore. You know, I'm originally from Bombay. I came here just after a few months that I started DJing for a project that I was sent over here, and that club unfortunately closed in a few months. But by then, I won one of the most elite DJ awards, and this was not an Indian-based award; it was an international-based award that came to India for the first time. DMC Championships. It's a turntablism-based championships. So we were like too raw, man. Like, we didn't know anything, you know. So whatever little bit we did, we won.
Right.
So I can't even compare that with today's talent, you know.
Right.
But jo bhi hai, like, it's an accolade that you have towards you, you know.
Right.
So I forgot what were we talking about.
You were talking about the music school. How and why you started it.
So while we were DJing and while we kind of got busy, we had a lot of people asking us, "Yaar, mujhe bhi sikhana," it's like that. So we kind of started a bedroom studio.
Okay.
Back in the day, we were funded by one of our friends' companies, and he gave us 2 speakers and 1 mixer, and we invested in some CD player and all of that stuff. And I did it in my own house.
Okay.
Matlab, I had a bedroom, in my living room was a studio.
Right.
You know, and it was just like to make an extra buck.
Right.
So after that, I relocated to Bombay.
Okay.
And Mumbai.
Right.
You know.
So wait, you started this in Bangalore and then you moved to Mumbai.
I started it here.
Okay.
It was called the EV school because of that brand that supported us and gave us thoda sa equipment, you know.
Okay.
So then I moved to Bombay. And I didn't do it anymore. And then a friend of mine was doing a studio over here. So then when I came back to Bangalore, we re-collaborated again and we started the music school.
Okay.
But also because, you know what, while I started, I believe I was fortunate enough to be witnessing some of the transitions in our career, you know. Like when I started, it was about tapes, it was turntables. CD players were there, but they were not with pitch control and all those kind of sophisticated stuff.
Right.
It was very basic CD players that you could, and you know, you play one song, another song, one song, another song.
Right.
If there was any device you could mix 2 songs, it was via the turntables.
Got it.
That's it. And turntables were not there everywhere.
Right.
You know, so we were like champions in cassette and recording and, you know, all those kind of stuff. I don't know if a lot of the generation today might not even know about it. But what I feel happy about is that thank God that I was part of these transitions, you know, from tape to DATs to MDs to, you know, turntables to then CD players to digital and now God knows what, you know, like itna sara hai. So we, हम लोग ने इन सब पे सीखा है.
Right.
And while we were DJing, while I started DJing, we really, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, we really didn't know that this could be a career option. ये हमको लगा ये 4-5-6 साल का धमाल है. मजे मारो, फुकट में ड्रिंक्स मिल रहे हैं, लड़कियां पटाने मिल रही है, खाना मिल रहा है, अच्छा खासा अटेंशन मिल रहा है. तो we didn't know like इसके beyond क्या होने वाला है, you know. If someone asked us कि where do you see yourself 5 years from now, it was a very confusing fucking question, yeah. Like I thought like, no, yeah, I see myself around here only somewhere, you know. It's like that, like I hope I'm here, like it's like that. But then DJing reached another platform. Things like Indian music levels. Obviously, we play international dance music and all of that kind of stuff. But overall, the whole music culture, F&B, nightlife got very elevated, you know. And it's now a profession. It's an alternative career. And some of the top DJs on this planet take $1 million or $2 million in 2 hours, you know. So it's a very serious business. So that's the reason I thought, you know, why not put things together and utilize this experience that me and some of my friends and all of that we've gathered and pass it on, you know, and pass it on obviously for a cost.
Don't ask the cost.
Yeah. But you know, one of the so that's the reason why music school happened.
Got it. And what were some of the challenges for you? Because like you said, it was so early on that you didn't even know what was actually even happening. So what were the challenges and how did you deal with them?
Challenges in like what direction?
Just with the music school itself, right?
Well, One of the challenges was my ex-partner. He was a brilliant brain, but we just didn't work out as two people together. Right. I don't see a challenge, but there are expenses, and there is time to time upgradation of equipment and all of that kind of stuff. So you have to be good at what you do, so that the brands can be associated with you. They feel you're worth it. You have to kind of have X amount of students that you do a turnover with, and all of those kind of stuff. Because bottom line, it comes to sales. All of these kind of stuff. So those are the only challenges, I think. And then I don't know, everything today's algorithms of being there, out there, all the Instagram, so I find that slightly, mind-boggling. I would have used another word, but otherwise, man, I myself am a learner in my own academy. Right. Because trust me, the people that I sit around with, they're all professionals. Right. They're all existing DJs. My faculty is all existing DJs playing in various outlets. They're all champions at what they do. I use a certain format of DJing, but whenever I'm around them and they're around me, I have so much to learn from them. And trust me, it does not matter whether you're 20 years in the business, 25 years in the business, 30 years in the business. There will be some technical aspect of this business that you can learn. Right. It's just not enough. Right. So each and every time, I feel the challenge also is to update your course, to have the right kind of faculty, to have the ability to deliver it to the newer ones that are coming to us. Right. Yeah. So makes sense. Besides that, I don't see any serious challenges unless there's a music school that opens next door. But thankfully, next to us, there's a hospital.
Why are you thankful about that?
नहीं मतलब इधर कुछ बीमार गिर गया तो बाजू में ही जा सकते हैं. And we have a park. So yeah.
Like I said, he's actually one of the funniest people and the biggest bakchods is what I feel in the industry, if I may say so. Great. So we spoke about the music school a little bit.
मतलब मैं compliment दे कि मेरी भाई मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा.
Obviously a compliment, boss, of course. So yeah, we spoke about the music school because of course people are just so curious to know about that. But now I want to take a step back and talk about your early life. So I understand that you actually weren't a fan of DJing and nightlife growing up.
How did you hear that?
Sir, मैं research करता हूँ. ये हम ऐसे मुफ्त में नहीं चला रहे ये podcast.
नहीं तो बचपन में यार मैं बोलूँ तो मेरा बचपन थोड़ा हार्ड था. जी. It was a typical movie story from one of the 70s Bollywood movie, if you would have seen, where you lose your parents at an early stage in life and blah 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 blah. So back then, my family was not much into watching movies or music at home. Right. So whenever there was a TV situation in the house and anything that played on the channels would be some 70s, 80s movies where they're always showing the nightlife is not a good scene. There's some rosy, always there has to be a Catholic girl with a cross dancing, and by the end of the song there's one Shetty coming in doing some firing, तो यार अच्छे गाने में हर अच्छा नाइट क्लब वाला गाने में एंड में या तो फायरिंग हो रही है या तो कॉप्स आ रहे हैं या तो वो एक डर बैठा था मेरे में कि नाइट लाइफ में ये होता है. You know what I mean? रोजी नाचती है.
Julie.
yeah. But and also like all of these kind of things. So when I had one or two of my area friends who became a part of nightlife and who started DJing, तो मैं बिल्कुल अगेंस्ट था. मैं मतलब जाता नहीं था और मेरा लाइफ उस वक्त काफी अलग पटरी पे था. Like we cannot be discussing in such details, but I had no time for this until one day one of my very close friends was celebrating their birthday and it was in this club. So that night I went to the club. And I'm still in the club. I haven't left it.
That first experience itself kind of changed everything for you?
Yeah, man. For the things that I was going through at that time, day on day, this one night changed a lot.
Wow.
How
old were you, sorry?
I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah. At that time, there was no, a couple of things were not existing, like child labor was not illegal, So हम 14-15 maybe हम थोड़े you know, we could get away. Also we knew people, right? Like the people that worked in the club were all our friends, so it was all okay. But I was not allowed really, like we were not allowed because of the age. But since we looked like, you know, once we were 15 and all of that, since we looked comfortable college going students, we were okay to be. So that one night I went over there, man. I went over there and I heard music. I heard loud music, you know, and I saw people coming dressed up, and everyone walked in, and a lot of them, I don't know, they knew each other or they were just like saying hi, hello to each other. And after a certain while, everyone was just friendly with each other and they were just lost. They were just dancing, and I was just like one cock standing over there wondering, what the fuck is going on, boss?
Right.
And I found something nice about it. I found something nice about the nightlife better than the day life. Because day में मेरी लगी पड़ी होती थी यार, you know. So I went back to the club the next day. So the guy who, because of whom we went, he was like, "What are you doing here?" You know, he's very close to us. I said, "I liked it yesterday, so I came today." So he said, "आज allow करता हूँ, कल से मत आना." You know, because we were young.
Right.
Man, I went the third day also. I went the fourth day also. And I went the fifth day also. But all the 3 days he never allowed me inside. I had to stay. I was waiting. I was sitting outside the club.
Wow.
So I would go at about 10 o'clock, and the club was open till about 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I would sit outside, and the outside of the club itself was enough for me for my pastime. You know what I mean? I even got beaten up by him, saying that fuck off, no coming. You know, you're not the right age. You'll get spoiled. All of that. But I just wanted to be there, because like my peace in the night was better than my peace in the day. So nightlife came on to me like that. DJing also was fluke.
So yeah, I mean, since you spoke about it, let's talk about that next. How did DJ?
So I was just lucky because the DJ of the club was my friend. Finally, we came to terms.
Same club.
Same club.
Okay, and
it was the only club in Mumbai.
Okay.
It was called Blackout, which was on till about 6, 7, 8 in the morning. It only picked up at about 12:31 when a few other places started closing, and it was a proper definition of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Wow.
Okay. So for me, who came from a very different background, all this was like completely new. How much of a thrash it was. For me, it was a very chill zone. And all the people that I met in the nightlife at that time were all associated with nightlife.
Okay.
I didn't hang and meet people who were a part of the crowd. Whoever I met was a part of the nightlife, either a DJ, owner, promoter, you know, hooker, everything. You know?
And this was intentional or just kind of the crowd you were?
No, it just happened. It just happened, and I feel good about it. You know, because I got to meet the key people of the business, which I didn't realize back then.
Right.
Back then it was just like, मैं DJ का दोस्त हूँ यार. मैं, you know, I have a certain access,
right,
because I'm the DJ's friend.
Right.
And at that time the era also was different, where there were very few DJs, and the good ones were known. You know, everybody, there was an impact of all these DJs. मतलब आज अगर ये DJ आ रहा है एक क्लब में बजाने का, तो मतलब goosebumps आते थे जब तक कि वो, we used to wait for that guy to walk and, like, you know, until he plays the first track ना यार बाल खड़ा हुआ करते थे. It's like that. So there was so couple of years I was a part of the nightlife over there. I was friends with everybody, and I would watch what the DJs would do. They were my friends, and then in my local, like in my school, you know, in my area, one of my friends who had their own system in the house and all of that. So I would pick things up. You know, I was doing a lot of other things to survive by the day, but this music thing was kind of fascinating for me. So I had this thought कि यार एक दिन DJ करना है.
Yeah.
One day I want to DJ. I didn't think how many more days after that I want to be a DJ. I just thought one day I want to be a DJ, and I want to know how it feels like.
Right.
So there was this one night where the club is busy. Both my friends are playing, and those days, you know, it was so passionate. I mean, it's passionate even today, but it's a little different, I find.
Right.
That if they say I'll play one track and you play the next track, it had to be like that. if you put your second song, the guy will get pissed off. You know what I mean? So उस वक्त ऐसा होता था कि 2 resident DJ हुआ तो main time पे एक करके बजाते थे. तो कुछ तो हुआ उनके बीच में. And they argued and they left the console.
Okay.
And the console was on ground level like this. You know, there was just an arch like this.
Okay.
और मैं वो corner में बैठा हुआ था, तो वो चले गए तो ठीक है. I knew the basics, so I saw on the CD player minus 50 something, which means there are 50 seconds remaining for the song to get over. So I quickly jumped in when it was minus 30 something. I put another song and I played it.
Both of them fucked off.
They fucked off. Yeah, they just walked out.
The console was empty.
People are dancing. The people तो have no clue only कि ये निकल गए हैं. मैं वहाँ पर ऐसा बैठा हुआ था ना, और फुकट की दारू भी नहीं मिलती थी, नहीं तो maybe I wouldn't also realize कि they've gone. So when I went and I played another song, and I just put the volume up, and I went, wow, volume. And suddenly somebody came and caught my neck. He was the GM of the place, and he's this big bastard, and he's a bastard only. So he asked me, "Boshdi ka tu mere console mein kya kar raha hai?" You know, and believe it or not, Sid, back in the day, I used to be 23 waist. I used to be very skinny. I had curly afro hair. So, you know, you could actually grab me by my hair. So I was like, sir, ये दोनों अभी आर्ग्यू करके बाहर गए, तो गाना खत्म हो रहा था. तो इसे लचा, ठीक है, मैं उनको लेके आता हूँ, तू 1-2 गाना बजा लेना तब तक.
And how old were you then?
I was 19.
Okay, so it's been 5 years since your first experience.
Yes. So I remember I was in a panic situation, obviously, because I've never played for a crowd, right? So I looked at my watch. It was around 1:40 in the night. While when this guy went to get the DJs back. Next thing, it was 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And I was still playing. And at about 5:45, 6, when the music stopped, everything happened, and I was just like, what? You know, I could not myself believe that, but I have spent 5 years in that club. So I know there was a CD rack at the back. So I know exactly at what hour these guys are pulling out which CD from which rack, which number of the track was playing, because all I did was I used to sit next to them, chit chat with them, and observe things. And that really helped me. And I don't know whether I did a good job or not, but what the GM said when he came is, देख बेटा, जब मैं बाहर गया ना, तो वो साले दोनों रिक्शा में बैठ के कल्टी हो गए. तो वापस आया, तू बजा रहा था, तो मैं सोचा तू ही बजा. अभी तूने 6 बजे तक खींच लिया ना, आज से तू ही मेरा डीजे. So I was like, wow, मुझे काम मिल गया. Yeah. So that night I went at 10 o'clock and my salary was discussed as 2,000 rupees for the month. My expenses were a little more than that to reach the club. But it is what it is, man. It was fantastic experience, and I did it for some time. Then I got a break in Bangalore. That's how I came here. And professionally, it started taking off from this city. The fame came from this city. So there's always that Clement from Bangalore situation. Right. But yeah, my journey, like I can go on talking, but my journey is been always very thrilling. Right. And very unexpected situations happen with me, but it's all for the good. So you spoke about Mumbai and Bangalore, right? I think both of these places have a really special place in your heart. So just talk about these two places, right? How are these two cities different, and how have they both impacted you? Look, Bombay is where I grew up, and my life wasn't easy. So for me, until the age of 20, I was born, bred, butter, shaved, shagged in Bombay. So my soul is Bombay, but also my core is very harsh and hard. You know, like I had to really struggle, and I have been through a lot in those 20 years. Usually, you don't expect people of our age at that time to go through such things. So when I came to Bangalore for the first time when I was 20, man, this was a chutia city. It was just so laid back. And I'm coming from a fucking place which is like racing. You know,
Yeah.
Like there's a saying in our language in Bombay called "Aankh jhapta to andwa gayab." I don't know if you understand what that means, but
I'm just wondering what andwa means. But I'll
like at the blink of an eye, your balls are gone, boss. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
So yeah. So "Aankh jhapta to andwa gayab." So I am coming from that situation where my mind is never at rest. I'm always on alert mode and all of that stuff. I came to Bangalore. There's nothing to be alert. 8 बजे तो इधर कोई गाड़ियाँ भी नहीं है रास्ते पे. It's like, what the fuck? Like, where have I come? But it was such a beautiful place to be in that, after the second month onwards, I started getting good sleep. I started putting on weight. I started making some really good friends. I started loving being here. And the most important part is I was loving playing music to the city. In Bombay, I was not playing good music. I just started. Bombay has always mostly been, your commercial and Bollywood and all of that kind of stuff, and dhamkiyan and, management and all. Wow. Whereas Bangalore back in the day was a fully local and student-ruled city. Nightlife. So the kind of music, man, like 5, 6 hours of a hip-hop set on a Thursday night. Like, whoa, and the best crowd. So this city changed a lot for me. And because of my peace of mind, also I started getting a little famous. Plus I started getting paid. Plus I started making some good guy friends, girlfriends. मैं बोला मुझे यहीं रहना है. मुझे नहीं जाना है वापस Bombay. Fuck that shit. I don't want to travel in that basad. I don't want to be in the trains. I don't want to be doing jugaad. No more jugaad. Now use only the jugaad skills for better.
Right.
But I don't want to be a part of that jugaad.
Right.
So that's how they both are different to me. Bombay is still Bombay to me because, I still have a lot over there. But Bangalore for me is still somewhere where I can be like a little 20% better peace of mind than being in Bombay.
Right. Interesting. And back in Mumbai, like you said, you played Bollywood, you played hip-hop as well. I think for a long while, you were also playing a lot of underground music. Now, I think I would probably say you're an open format DJ. So just talk us through that journey of your musical sort of preferences as well and your expertise across the genres.
I don't know exactly how this has happened, but I believe back in the day, he was one of the good house DJs. There was a time I used to be a good retro DJ, a good hip hop DJ. But genuinely, like I told you, I didn't come from a musical background. But when I started hearing music in nightclubs, I started liking different styles of music, different tracks. I didn't know what genres they came from, and that was the best part, I think.
Okay.
Not knowing the dimensions of these genres. Today, I would like to tell you, Sid, music, instead of uniting people, has actually divided people. Especially in nightlife, from the techno to the Bollywood scene, there's a lot of gap.
Right.
And looking down upon things and all that stuff. I don't know if I want to get into that situation, but like I started learning music and adapting different genres.
Right.
And man, there are brilliant tunes in all these genres.
Right.
So after I came to Bangalore, for me, it was like a happy place. So if I would play with a Vachan, I would be playing like good vinyl hip hop sets, and to play with somebody who's equivalent or better than you, betters your skill, because you have to, the next track he plays, after that when your turn comes, you have to play a better track. You know what I mean? Then he has to play even better track, and this has to go on for 2, 3, 4 hours. So that challenge kind of teaches you a lot. So, and then, retro for me also was amazing. I picked up that genre as well. And underground back in the day was very simplified. There were not too many subcategories for underground. So it was, and underground was developing at that time. So it was easy. It was, and those were the days for us to, our alcohol abuse and extra abuse and all of that kind of stuff. So music came differently into my system as well. So, I took a special liking towards progressive.
Right.
So progressive then and progressive now is completely different. But that's how, like, when Bangalore nightlife started closing early, I started playing in a lot of underground, like, of the radar parties.
Got
And
it.
those parties were nothing to do with your club music, your regular hip hop.
Got it.
You know, your commercial music.
Got it.
Or it was all underground music.
So one point that you said that progressive was really different compared to what it is now. Can you just expand on that? How is it different?
Progressive music, when we started listening, were they used to be called 12-inch. That's due to the format of the record,
Right.
But also the tracks were lengthy. Like minimum a track would be 5.5, 6 minutes. And it could go up to 12, 13 to 14 minutes, one
Right.
track.
Right.
And believe it or not, if, like, I'm not trying to tell you this because I'm from old school,
Right.
but even if I play them for you today, okay, they have a storyline to it. All right. So we used to have so much fun to put the next track after the first track of our set, then to put the third track, then to put a fourth track. Trust me, by the 10th, 15th track, it's a storyline because everything has such melodies, such breakdowns, and during those days there was free spirited souls. Things would happen. So there were memories made. Then music evolved too quickly, and then a lot of, I think, electronically produced music also has come in, where I think in between, like in the era of 2012, 13, 14, electro big room EDM sounds were considered to be progressive, and we were just like, this is not progressive,
Right.
So anyway, now it's coming. Now again, it's being specified into its right categories. I think this will go on for lifetime. This breakthrough with figuring things out is going to go on.
Right.
But those days, like again, we had to dig deep, but not dig too much. We would find really amazing tunes. Utna aata bhi nahi tha. Internet was not there at that time, so there were different ways that we would get these tunes. Beg, borrow, ask. I have even been told, what kind of a DJ is he? ये तो दूसरों से music मांगता है. For me, bottom line was a boss when I go and play over there. My audience does not give a damn about how he got the music.
Right.
It's the industry.
Right.
Fuck the industry. Do it for the audience.
Beautiful. And speaking about your underground journey, you were also part of the first Sunburn ever back in 2007. Wow. Just tell us about that experience. What was, number one, your experience, and what did that festival mean to the audience in general?
Sunburn was one of its first, if I would say. There must have been other festivals and all that stuff. But on a scale, like a big scale, pehle baar aisa hua hai.
Right.
So 2007, I was possibly one of the first guys also to be booked, because I was working in Bombay in this bar called China House, which was, in 2007, it was the place to be.
Okay.
If the place to be means, I'm talking about even from a Shah Rukh to everybody used to be there. And it was the only place that had all the Bollywood stars, but no Bollywood music.
Wow.
Okay. And the secret to them coming there was actually because there was no Bollywood music being played. Others, everywhere they went, it was Bollywood.
Right.
So again, I forgot what we were talking about. Sunburn. So one of the nights when they were, Carl Cox was the biggest artist of the 2007, the main artist, headliner for 2007. And the night that the team was flying to London to book him, they were with me in China House partying.
Okay.
Their flight was in the morning.
Okay.
So they disclosed the festival to me.
Right.
And they said, ठीक है, किसी को बोलना मत, तेरे को book कर रहे हैं हम लोग. So ठीक है, मैं बोला यार. So that was the first time, that December when we played. It was in Kandolim.
Right.
We didn't have a very big audience. The setup was amazing. We also felt good because we came from clubs.
Right.
We were club DJs.
Right.
This was the first time we got a festival platform, and I played for Sunburn, I think, almost 10 years of my life.
Wow.
So I saw the festival grow from a couple of hundred to a couple of lakhs. Now I have I'm not a part of festivals for whatever reasons, but I also don't enjoy much playing in festivals. Like I enjoy more in intense closed rooms, closed rooms, proper nightclubs.
Okay.
Even though I'm an open format DJ and I do this for a living, I have bills to pay.
Yeah.
But there are times when I get an opportunity to play exactly in the kind of place that I would love to play. It's like that.
Wow. Very, very interesting. And obviously, you spoke about Bollywood. We have to speak about Bollywood. You have obviously played at, some of the coolest parties there. You have some really cool celebrities as well, celebrity friends as well. So, yeah, tell us some juicy gossip, man.
Man, this is the one thing, I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of Bollywood celebrities,
Right.
make friends with them, good friends with them. Some of them really loved me, loved my music, gave me opportunities to play for them. Ritik se leke Shahrukh, I've played for a lot of the celebs. But the one thing is, from me is, when I finish the party, you won't get any gossip out of me.
Oh.
Because you know what, I also I just don't end up being a DJ in their party. I for some reason I become a friend of theirs.
Of course.
They get to know me,
Of course.
and they're comfortable around me.
Right.
So for me, it's a protect. I don't want to break that trust.
Right.
And I also will feel guilty if I say something.
Right.
जहाँ कुछ बोल सकता हूँ वो बोल दूंगा. But अगर कुछ juicy है तो वो juicy ही रहेगा. It's like that. But yeah, it's Bollywood, man. It's there's a lot of gossip over there.
Yeah.
And I've had my share of all those things. But I would always like to keep their lives, and private. Doesn't
course.
matter.
Of
Like
course.
I don't like to discuss these things. But while I am there, I have a lot of fun.
I'm sure. You even played at several Vijay parties. I'm sure they must have been extravagant, man.
I didn't play at several Vijaymalya's parties. I was his boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. There were 4 to 5 DJs who were signed up with UB and Kingfisher, but Clement was on a call
Okay.
anytime for Vijaymallya. And if you have a question, what are your best experiences somewhere in your lineup? Don't ask me that.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell that to you right now.
Please do.
It was while he was around. For whatever reason today, I mean, he's not here. And whatever people have to say, I don't give a fuck. But while I was with him and while he was here, I had the best time of my life.
Wow.
Okay. I was his DJ. This man has a special liking towards music and parties. And he's very, very, very thorough about who he wants involved in his party. So from food to alcohol beverages to music to DJs to live singers, he would always have top of the line. And from the time I joined hands with him because of this company called DNA Networks, they were the ones who first booked me, and that's how we fell in place. Every member of Vijaymalya's family knows me, and believe it or not, Sid, I would get a call sometimes at 8:39 in the morning from a friend called Manoviraj Khosla, who's a very close aide of Mr. Vijaymallya, saying that, Clement, pack your bags, run to the airport. Now run to the airport. This is not the new airport.
Right.
This is the old airport, which is not too far away from Indiranagar.
Right.
I had a Zen.
Right.
I should drive my Zen, but I used to enter the airport with my Zen. There was a permission over there. I would park my car under his wing, the aircraft's wing. I would be flying with him in his private aircraft for a sudden party that is decided to have in Goa, in Bombay.
Right.
And then I was one of his most favorite DJs for his F1 parties in Monaco. On his, he had the best yacht, man. It was a 100 feet yacht. It was one of the biggest back then. So, I was playing for audiences where we had Richard Branson, Paris Hilton, all of these people dancing, and I was the DJ. And trust me, all thanks to Mr. Vijaymallya.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sure it must have been a crazy time. It sounds amazing. And I'm sure you've lived a pretty exciting life, my man.
Very exciting life. I'm telling you, I'm like, now actually I've calmed down because I feel that, somewhere you got to kind of take things a little easier, and also our lives are such that we are working in the night, so there's a lot of professional hazards.
Right.
So I also kind of try to take a step or two back so that I can then again come back in force. So I do that time to time, rather than just be on top over there. It's not possible to always just...
Absolutely makes sense. And since you sort of already started speaking about it, we want to talk a little bit about the challenges that you personally have faced or are currently facing, and then we want to talk about the challenges that the nightlife in general is also facing, right? It's not an easy industry. So firstly, either if you want to talk about the challenges that you currently face yourself or about the industry, I'll let you start there.
My childhood was very rough. So that kind of made me so strong that everything else didn't matter. So there were challenges, but I accepted it very well, because for me it was like, man, मैं तो इससे भी गया गुजरा देख चुका हूँ. I've been through worse. So this is not a situation I can't handle. So I never allowed my situations to become big for me. I never gave it that much importance. I just dealt with it. They were all chutia kind of situations and it's all industry situation. I came to this city. I come from Bombay. I'm a little street smart. I'm a little like, they always say, oh, Bombay se aaya to chalu hai. Chalu hu. Apne liye hu. शाना है, शाना हूँ, देर शाना हूँ, मगर अपने लिए हूँ. You know what I mean? And here or there, I must have hurt a few people with my words or whatever it is. But over a period of time, I also realized, like, if I've done something wrong, I'm apologetic. I say sorry and I move on. I don't have that. The one very important thing in this business is to be humble, to be simple, because you're only going to last longer in that way. Otherwise, in today's day and age, it's very, very quick, man. And ego and all of these things don't really work for long. So challenges wise, it's always different with different people, from your clubs, from the people you work in the clubs to the people you hang out with, to your family. Everything can be a challenge. It just depends how you deal with it. And to each one its own. I'm there over here if anybody needs me to reach out, because I can talk to people and stuff like that. But in today's generation, it's way too fast paced. There are too many businesses that have opened, too many options that are there, too many people who have joined this business who are not experienced and out there to prove a point. So it becomes a little challenging to kind of work with such people and to prove a point to them. And sometimes just with one or two things that they have done, or with one club that has succeeded for them, or one outlet that has done well, they feel now we know everything. It doesn't work like that. Consistency is important, and a lot of things. We are the kind of guys who have traveled not only this city, not only this state, not only this country, but kind of the whole world. So there's a lot of things we have seen, and we come back here. But our people, sometimes they just feel हमें सब पता है, तू हमें बोलने वाला को. But then in time, shop shuts, दुकान बंद, and then they're gone. It's like that. And I just feel like, wow, what a waste of advice. I love to participate, I love to talk, and I give people advices, and sometimes I think I even get considered like, क्यों इतना ज़्यादा बात करता है? But trust me, it like, you're getting it from me. I'm not going to be bullshitting. I'm just going to be telling you the truth.
It's the experience that's talking. And if you are able to leverage it, great. If you're not, then good for you. And the way that you look at problems, of course, is, I think, different than how 99% people look at problems. So I want to talk about some specific problems with you that we feel is sort of plaguing the industry, and get your opinions on it. And also the solutions, right? So we talk a lot about solutions as well. It's not just about the problems and cribbing, but how do we solve these problems? So,
well, if I can be of any help, I'm more than happy to give you a piece of advice on that.
Awesome. So the first one, and I know that you're a big proponent of this as well, right? The male to female ratio of DJs and just, I think, professionals in general in the nightlife space. the ratio is really, really off. I think it's so difficult to even, count the number of good female DJs that are out there on your fingertips, right? What do you feel is the challenge there, and how do we promote female DJs to sort of follow their dreams?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to answer this question a little differently. All right. First of all, our country itself is haywire with the ratio.
Right.
Okay. There's more men in this country than women.
Right.
I possibly feel the ratio is 70-30. Pata nahi. Oh, I must have not seen those many women. But even in the industry, it's not like that there are no those many women DJs. They are there. It's just that possibly in certain cities and states they are not utna ubar ke nahi aaye hain. And what happens is the ones that are in Delhi, Bombay, and all of these kind of places get more attention and more looked at, because these cities have always been big for everything from your fashion to your acting to your music, So everybody looks at people from there. I think the ratio is never going to be able to be matched, But there are some fantastic girl DJs out there.
Absolutely.
Now, it just depends on how they put their skill. All right. There's always a debate on, she uses looks and she uses this and that. I think it does not matter whether you're a guy or a girl and what you do to reach out there. Yeah, I mean, doing it the right way obviously is advised, but in whatever way you're doing it, beyond a certain point, you can't fool the audience.
Right.
Beyond a certain point, they are going to expect talent out of you.
Right.
So if you're not, then everything else of yours is going to be a flop. So it's not just the girls, it's also the guys. So as far as, I think, I don't know if I'm going to get some slack for this, but I think a girl is a girl's worst enemy. More than the guy. Guys are always talking, but they're very, very into themselves, and there's not much. But I found girls being a slightly more bitter towards their own race. Yeah. So I think in between them only, if they sort things out, it's better for them.
Right.
Yeah. Because we are nothing for them, man. हमको तो कुचल के निकल गए वो आगे. And trust me, they are always going to be above. Right. There is nothing called we are equal. Right. You know what I mean, na? And in many ways, they are above us. Right. Like it's so. I just feel that they need to realize that it's if they do things the right way, they will surpass us. Right. Way easily than our own community of boys that are trying to do things. Bottom line is the talent. You have to be talented, and you have to have something different about you. And then whether you're a guy or girl, you are going to be out there. Got it. Makes complete sense, Clement. The other challenge I want to talk about, and this is everyone's favorite topic. People love talking about it, love cribbing about it, because it's just so close to everyone's heart. Our payments from gigs, from venues, from promoters. It's unfortunately a plague. It's the new pandemic, unfortunately, in our industry. How do we solve this, Clement? It's going to be a very tough question that I can answer, but that's why अपने आप को इतना ऊपर लेके जाओ कि it is going to be about you. Yeah, because until you are a brand, everybody is going to run you over. However, people look at this industry, they look at the top people, and they want to be the top tomorrow. It's not possible. It's a one-off situation. Martin Garrix, अगर मैं एक roughly एक example दूँ तो एक one-off है. अब एक बोलो बताओ कौन आया उसके बाद. You know what I mean? There's a huge gap. Right. Everybody else is working hard. Now even Martin Garrix is working hard. every other DJ. I mean, look at the old school DJs from Armin to John Digby to Sasha to Tiesto to whatever it is. Everybody is working hard, dude. They are delivering what is expected out of them. They are traveling. They are maintaining themselves. They are looking the same every fucking day. And for whatever rhyme or reason, they are filling arenas. You know. You like it or not. It does not matter whether you like the genre or not, but just look at it from the business point of view and from that aspect of whatever they are doing, it's full. You know, DJs were not known to fill stadiums. DJs are known to fill nightclubs. 500, 600, 1000, 2000 in our times. Today they are filling stadiums. I mean, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people coming for them. So things have changed. And payments, again, like management. That's the reason either you start with it, have somebody manage you, and let your terms and conditions be there from the beginning. It might be a little tough in the beginning because they might have other options that are giving them credit or are okay to play for free or are okay you know, play for free is a separate question altogether, but okay to take the payment later on or whatever it is. But like I said, until you are a brand, it is going to be tough.
And have you faced this challenge in your early years as well, or do you feel it's just more of a new challenge?
No, it's always been there. It's always been there and it's always going to be there. So that's the reason, like I said, once you're a brand, it's about you. I want my payment first. I want my business class ticket. I want a hotel, this hotel. I want 2 tickets. I want a massage, you know.
Right.
Mera peeth dabao, haath dabao. So whatever it is, they will say yes to you. But the same when the next day, if another DJ is playing and he says, I want my payment, sorry, 30 days. 60 days. And that too, it does not fucking come after that. So it's a little tough one. I mean, and they see how much ever you say, we need to be united and we need to all come together and we need to form one team. This country has too many options. It's not going to happen. So you have to look after your own self. You have to mind your own business.
That's some tough love, man. We asked this question to almost everyone. I don't think anyone's ever given that answer. But I think, again, it's coming from your experience.
Yeah. Everyone will say, yeah. Let's put a plan together. But trust me, tomorrow if I tell one guy, na boss, मैं तेरे को directly 40,000 देता हूँ ना, तू इधर आके बजा लेना यार. You'll see the guy leaving your team.
Wow. So, tough answer, tough question, but it is what it is.
It is.
Right. Next one, Clement. I know every new kid will obviously come up to you and ask you, okay, how do I become a successful DJ? And I'm sure you've already answered that some 50 million times. But I want to ask you a different sort of a question. What about the artists who have been struggling for a long time, right? So, for example, someone who's been in the industry for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, but is still not able to break that initial barrier. What advice do you have for those artists?
Well, then if there could be a reason there is something that was lacking in them right from the beginning. Now, if I talk about even from the time that I started, there are a lot of talented DJs. But what we realize today is, just the talent is not enough. Talent is just one part of the aspect. Your personality, your PR, your communication skills, the people that you know, everything matters. So somewhere I feel, like I told you in the beginning, that kuch to maine acha kiya hoga is, I think, just the way I am as a person. I speak, I mingle around, I talk to people. Now what people think of me, I don't really give a fuck about them, because bottom line, I know where I am, who I am. So I know that there will be a lot of judgments made, but here, when it comes to my work, I deliver. So it does not really matter what everyone thinks, but yes, it is important to go and be out there. We're in a profession of music here. We're not an accountant who sits behind a console. Console mein bol raha hu. Sits behind.
We do sit behind a console.
Who sits behind a counter,
Right.
People look at us, People look at what we do. People possibly copy what we wear. People possibly even want to talk like you, or dress like you, whatever it is. Hump like you.
Like you.
So, it is important for those older DJs also to now come out of their shell and not just sit at home or at the corner of a naka and have chai and collect 4 more friends like similar to them and just bitch. And just, they are all in a negative zone. You know what I mean? They have to reach out.
Yeah.
So if they know, like, okay, there is a friend of theirs who's doing well and who's out there, reach out to him or her. You know what I mean?
Right.
See what are the possibilities, because trust me, in this country there are possibilities. Whatever you say, our country has got all the possible opportunities. It is a tough business, but options hai.
Right.
You just need to know how to get it.
Right.
And trust me, if you're there from 17 years and if you have not made any kind of contact, then you should shut shop, boss. You start a chai ka bakada. That is more easier for you to make money than play good music and make money. Because there are enough people to play good music. But you need networking.
And I think the same advice also works for anyone who's even just starting out, right?
You have to. There are, all these things about I am introvert, ye, wo, what, jo bhi hai. Theek hai. Get out of it. Learn how to fucking fix those issues, dude.
Right.
Because this is required in this business. You know what I mean?
Right.
I am an introvert myself. I mean, believe it or not.
Nobody will believe that.
Bro, I go home.
Don't lie on this podcast.
No, I'm telling you seriously. Like when I'm out there, like even if I have 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, sometimes when I'm in my element, I'm in my element, and that's Clement.
Right.
But nobody knows who I am when I'm alone. You know what I mean? No, I just don't want to connect with anybody. I just look to disconnect, and I go into a different zone as well, buddy. But trust me, when I'm out there, I have to be at my best. And even if you have to fake it, fake it. Fake, because boss, nobody is there to, क्या भाई problem क्या है तेरा बोलना मुझे ना, nobody gives a fuck about your problems. They want to know कि भाई मजा करेंगे कि नहीं, धमाल करेंगे कि नहीं. They want entertainment, boss.
Right.
And entertainment is what you should give. What our older segment of DJs who are possibly struggling with and all that is pain. Okay. You know, just mera ye ho raha hai, mera wo ho raha hai, ye ho raha hai. I also meet a lot of these friends of mine.
You mean excuses?
Excuses. Excuses. Oh no, the real DJs who plays good music and this, it does not work like that. Today things have changed. Let us adapt a little bit to it, no?
Yeah.
Because if you were so good, you wouldn't be sitting at home, no? So I feel ki accept reality.
Yeah.
And then whether you're willing to come to terms with the reality. If you're not willing to, then you have to move away from that reality and go into some other zone.
Wonderfully said, Clement. And obviously, like I said, your mindset is really, really positive. You think a little differently from most people. So,
like too hard, actually, maybe too realistic.
No, I mean,
in your face.
I think people need to hear it, Clement. And I think coming from somebody like you, people might actually take action. I hope they do.
I hope they do, because if you put in effort and if you work hard, right? That you have to get noticed.
Right.
Somebody will notice you.
Right.
Like I'm one of them.
Right.
I was playing last night in a club and I saw this one guy standing and somewhere he was like trying to grab, he smiled at me, I smiled at him. By after some time, I only went and asked him, buddy, what are you? Like, no, who are you? Because you're standing here near the artist area and all of that stuff. So I said, I'm a DJ from so-and-so academy and, I've come here to watch you and stuff like that. So I said, oh, wow, you're a turntablist, because you learn from this DJ. He's a turntablist.
Right.
So where are you from? Chennai. I've come here, I said, we'll be in touch, buddy. Because, you can see some kind of an effort.
Yeah.
So, as an academy, we make DJs. We also give them opportunities to play in various clubs and pubs and bars as resident DJs. So, there is always an opportunity through us as well. So, when I see someone, right, like putting in that effort, genuinely I want to help the guy if I can.
Right.
Or the girl.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are a lot of them like me, man.
Right. Absolutely. And I can absolutely vouch for this statement. I think we just met Clement a few weeks ago, where he was just like, dude, I just love what you guys are doing. Let's just meet and talk. We don't even need to figure out something, but I just want to meet and talk to you guys and figure out what the hell you guys are doing. So I can absolutely vouch for that statement. And I want to ask you a personal question as well. Obviously, I keep coming to you for advice. But you've seen our journey and Pumproom's journey since day one, I'd say. I mean, we are TMS alumni. We started from here. So what, number one, has been, your observations about us? And what are we doing right and what should we improve?
See, first of all, I found you all building a community. Mm-hmm. You guys, I don't know where you guys are from, mm-hmm. but you're even if you're from here, I saw that you all are forming a community, from 2 people to 3 people to 4 people. You all made a team mm-hmm. of certain things. Then I started seeing you all putting different kind of content on your social media. That's like trying to make your presence be felt over there. And even though you are aspiring to be a DJ or a DJ music producer, more than that, there were the content was in relation to a lot of other things as well also, and then there was some fun stuff over there. So what I feel is that what I learn out of you is to reinvent, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think you're doing a fabulous job. And your minds are very young right now, so I don't know how I can give you an idea. Possibly I need to take an idea from you. But I think keep rediscovering yourself, mm-hmm. keep reinventing yourself, mm-hmm. keep fucking up, because you know what you fucked up on, and now when you fuck up something and you change that, right, then that is even better. Because if you're always doing things right, it somehow gets boring.
Yeah.
For you, like for me, I know always, like even while I'm DJing and I screw up something, like, I just make it was a part of my talent. Okay. But there's a lot of DJs, agar ek beat bhi idhar udhar, oh no, it all shows, right? Yeah. They're looking at us. Yeah. So, and the best advice I can only give you is be around people that are positive. Even if they are of no help to you. He might be from a different background only. But if he or she is a positive banda or bandi, make them your friend, man. Because it is so important, because we're struggling today, no matter what. We're all putting in a thorough effort to make our presence being felt in so many different ways. So it's very important that we have a good circle of communication between the people that are around us. So it's important to have nice people around you. Very, very nice people. एक भी बंदा अगर तुझे लगा ना कि नीचे खींच रहे, उसको रस्सी काट दे सीधा. वो बाप भी होने दे अपना. Just fucking disconnect. It's very important, because this is the only thing I can tell you to do. Yeah. The rest of the things, my friend, I think you guys have a great team put together. So each one will keep coming out of bubbling out of ideas, and keep trying them. You don't know what can work in your favor, and don't be afraid to fail, because your failure is not going to be a sentence to death. Your failure is just going to be a lesson, maybe a loss of some money, but that can be earned back. Yeah. But a lesson is learned. So don't hesitate to try things.
Thank you so much for saying that, Clement. I think it really means a lot, man. And like I've said, you've always been such a supporter of the whole team. So thank you so much for all your kindness and all your wisdom, man. It means a lot.
No, thank you also, Sid. It's been a while since I've given an interview to someone. So अगर मैं कुछ ज़्यादा बग गया तो edit कर लेना.
This has been one of the most fun experiences, like we expected. मुझे पता था कि इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा मज़ा आना ही आना है. So yeah, just one last question, Clement, that we want to ask is about the school, right? The music school, I'd say, is probably the best DJ and EMP school in the country. So just tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you for putting us on a platform and saying it's one best. I would say it's one of the best. One of the advantages of the music school is that being in the business for almost close to 3 decades, I am one of the most networked DJs in the country. I have a lot of pioneer friends, pioneer DJs, not the brand, but
that too.
Yeah, that too. But DJs who have been around for 2-3 decades, who are my friends who keep coming to the city to play gigs and all of that stuff. So one of the biggest advantages of the music school is getting workshops from these guys where they come and they share. You know, and I'll tell you from back in the day where it was a closed circle and a lot of people didn't share because it was limited access as well. बहुत मुश्किल से music मिलता था, तो people didn't want to share and all. Today when I'm DJing, there are 5 people coming and putting their phone. Do you have this? Do you have that? I actually don't. And I'm like, fuck off. You know. So you have to be open to things. That's the reason music school is here. I work with very, very hardworking resident DJs who are my faculty, and you know, the biggest aspiration for them is also they are with me.
Right.
You know, so every time I'm coming in and I'm throwing in a bundle of joke, but we are like, we motivate each other to do things.
Right.
And we are always upping our game as far as the operating systems are concerned over here, the equipment is concerned over here, the ambience is concerned over here, and especially the workshops.
Right.
From international DJs to your top of the line local DJs coming here and hosting free workshops. So, I mean, one of the USPs of the music school.
Right. And I would absolutely agree to that. Actually, that's where I met my team as well, was at one of these workshops. So definitely one of the best places that you can learn from. And yeah, just a good vibe altogether. You can meet this guy here as well and hang out with him and ask him a bunch of questions. Thank you so much, Clement. I think we'll wrap it there. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for taking out the time and answering so many of these questions. I think we could have done this probably for another hour.
Yeah, no, we could go on and on because, like I said, no, it's a very long journey, man,
Right.
and it cannot be discussed in 1 hour or 2 hours.
Right.
And I'm the kind of guy who loves to talk.
Yeah.
So thank you for hosting this with me in my own place, and possibly help us also get some recognition. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, boss. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Definitely check out the music school. Definitely check out Mr. Clement D'Souza. He is the man. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Have you paid your GST? उसकी माँ का हाँ.
Or about the industry, I'll let you start there.